Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we did some adding and subtracting and simplifying with rads. Today we're going to do multiplication with rads, finding products, okay? Now, work smart and not hard on these. A lot of you are just going to go, oh, that's rad 18, and while you're not wrong, then you have to take the time to simplify. Instead of thinking of it as rad 18, I'm looking at common factors. I'm seeing 3 here, and I'm seeing 6 as 3 times 2. So what I'm suggesting to you is rad 3 times rad 6 is really the rad of 3 times 3 times 2. Well, why would I think about it that way? Because now I have a date. I have a pair of 3s that could leave the house. Excuse me, and the 2 is left inside. And there you go. Okay, so the product, the simplest product of 3 rad 2, rad 3 times rad 6 is 3 rad 2. Okay, now number 2 should be real simple because rad 7 times rad 7 would be the same as rad 7 times 7, which is just plain old 7 because the 7s leave the house and there's nobody left inside. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, well, isn't it rad 49? And, the rad of 49 is 7. Well, sure it is. But a lot of times it's harder or more difficult to multiply them together and then to separate them again. So, all right, now number 3 looks a little more complex, but it's just like if we had 2x, times 5y. The only problem is the product of xy we can do something with. We can simplify. So first thing I'm going to do is multiply 5 times 3 and get 15. And then under the rad, I'm going to have a 3 times a 3 times 5. In other words, a 15, right? A 3 times 5 would be a 15. But I'm going to think about it as 3 times 5. These 3's are going to leave the house. But there's already a 15 out front. So I'm going to have 15 times 3, rad 5, or better yet, 45 rad 5. Okay, now if you're not getting this, I expect you to be coming in for help. Come and see me and ask a question. All right. There we go. Okay, problem 4, similar type situation, only it involves distribution. I'm going to multiply here, and I'm going to multiply there. Now, I got a sneeze coming on. I tell you, I wasn't coughing or sneezing until I started recording. Sorry. All right, so rad 5 times rad 5 is a plain old 5. And then rad 5 times rad 10 would be like the rad of 5 times 5 times 2. And so then I'm going to get a 5 plus 5 rad 2. Now I can't add those together because they're not like terms. One's a rational number, and this one is an irrational number, right? Because the square root of 2 is irrational. All right, let's try number 5. I'm going to multiply 10 times 5 and get 50. All right, and I'm going to have 50 times the rad of 12 times 12 times 2. These 12s are going to leave the house. I'm going to need to do 50 times 12. Well, it might be easier to just think 12 times 5 is 60. So 50 times 12 must be 600. So this will be 600 rad 2. Okay? All right, over here, distribution situation. It's going to get a little ugly. You may want to rewrite it as 2 rad 7 times 5 rad 3 minus 2 rad 7 times 4 rad, sorry, I'm a little trouble writing that, 4 rad 14. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10. Now the rad 7 and the rad 3 will be rad 7 times 3, but there's nothing to simplify in there. There's no dates, so that's going to be 10 rad 21. All right. Now here I'm going to do 2 times 4, and I'm going to get 8. And then I'm going to get the rad of 7 times 7 times 2. 7s will leave the house, so I'll have a minus 56, and there will be a rad 2 left inside. And these are not like terms because the rads don't match, and so I cannot combine them. Okay, it's really not that difficult. You just have to be willing to think about numbers in different ways. All right, here's a little video quiz for you. 2 problems, one straight multiplication, and one a distribution situation. All right, that's it for the video. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.